Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, Derek, and it's an exciting day today. That is because anytime I can feature OutRun 2, my #1 favorite arcade racing game ever made, it's going to make me happy. And considering Teknoparrot just updated their Chihiro Xbox emulation to basically get these games almost near to perfect, I think it's going to make everyone else happy as well. Because as of now, there is updated Chihiro emulation in Teknoparrot, and outside of the lens flare here being slightly too bright, and that's still going to be adjusted in the future, this game is running at full speed. It doesn't really have any graphical corruption whatsoever, and now the issue with some of the builds sometimes crashing on certain versions of OutRun 2 and Crazy Taxi have been improved as well. Honestly, this is night and day different, pun very much intended for a way too bright lens flare, and this is basically like 99% of the way to being perfect Xbox emulation on the arcade side of things. And if you know me and you know OutRun 2, you know that's going to make me a very, very happy video game esoterica. Before getting much further involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And if you remember the last video I ran on this, maybe about 2-3 months ago, there was definitely some versions of OutRun 2 that would present a couple more issues in emulation via Chihiro than others. The beta would work, OutRun 2 SP had some shadow and corruption issues, as did the original OutRun 2, and I believe OutRun 2 beta version was the one that had all the graphics set up correctly. And even though it wouldn't impede your fun, we want these things basically perfect, not only for preservation, but for gameplay standpoints, and that's exactly where Teknoparrot is bringing it. And the thing is, I know we have OutRun 2 on consoles, but the Chihiro version definitely has a little bit better performance because it had a double complement of RAM than the original Xbox console. So now if you think about it this way, outside of the lens flare, we have OutRun 2, OutRun 2 SP, as well as the beta, all working near to perfect in emulation, and we also have SP SDX, the Lindbergh version of the game, running in Teknoparrot as well. So basically every single version of OutRun is now playable from start to finish, and once the Teknoparrot team gets these lens flares buttoned up, there really isn't anything else in this build that I would say needs improvement. Of course, you're going to need a decent PC to be able to actually play these games because you can't bring a potato to the party, but honestly, it really doesn't require all that much horsepower either, so long as you maybe have two potatoes gaff taped together and you put a little copper wire stuck in between the both of them, you should be able to run this perfectly fine. But it isn't just OutRun 2 that has improved, other games have as well, including the golf game that I mentioned in a previous video. But Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller, that is definitely seen some improvements as well. And honestly, it is a really fun vibe until we get the new Crazy Taxi from Sega, which hopefully is going to be good, but I still have a little bit of doubt on that one. So as we jump into Crazy Taxi here, I really couldn't see anything in the performance, anything in the visuals that was preventing me from thinking this was doing everything it needed to do, no more and no less. And big thanks to SpaceRock12, a member of my Discord, that has been helping me with some of these captures. I just recently sent him one of my Mr. FPGAs so he could start playing around with FPGA gaming and also help me capture on that side as well. The link to his channel is in the description below. Go blow him up with subs and leave him comments saying VGE sent me, because he is one of my favorite Discord members, and I always believe a rising tide floats all boats, and the more people we can get watching some good channels and supporting them, the more fun content you're going to get across YouTube. But honestly, Crazy Taxi, always an incredible franchise, and the last time we took a look at this one, definitely has some visual issues and some performance issues. Now here in this current build on Teknoparrot, again, I really can't see anything that doesn't seem to be doing exactly what it's supposed to, except every once in a while you'll see a stray pixel of light towards the front right hand corner of the bumper, kind of like it's the headlights. You have to stare really closely, and if you're on a phone you might not see it whatsoever, and I do not believe that's in the original arcade version of the game, but for that you'd have to dig out a Chihiro, load up a GD-ROM, and actually see it for yourself. Or honestly, just look up a capture on YouTube to see if it's there or not, but for me, it's usually digging out hardware from the arcade storage closet of doom. And one day we'll do a tour of that soon, just because I have been setting it up more since my wife and I moved to our new house. But trust me, I'm running out of space even here. It's absolutely insane. I think it might be time to get rid of some of the bigger arcade boards that now emulate perfectly. But let's do a soundtrack sample, not on Crazy Taxi 3, because that music's always an issue. We're going to move back over to OutRun 2. So go ahead and listen, and I'll come back and show you a lot more of these awesome updates. Honestly, just such fun music, and if you haven't noticed already, we moved over from Outrun 2 SP to Outrun 2, basically the original version of the game to release in arcades. And that really is the fun thing about Outrun 2 in general. There's so many different builds and versions of it. And on here we have not one, not two, but three, with SP, with the beta, and with the original release version of the game. And you add in all of the different console ports that added in different features. You have SP SDX on Lindbergh, and all of a sudden you realize there's like a dozen different versions of Outrun 2, and that definitely doesn't upset me whatsoever, because I still consider it to be the absolute best #1 no arguments racing game ever made. But if you want to disagree with me, you tell me in the comments down below what is your favorite arcade racing game, because I really would be curious. And this performance, again, it's just night and day better than we've seen before, and I love that Teknoparrot is bringing in some of this quote-unquote console emulation as well. They have it on the Chihiro side, they have it on the PlayStation 2 side, with PCSX 2X6 being incorporated in as well. And when I say console emulation, I really mean these are arcade boards. They have hardware changes compared to the actual home consoles, but they are still based on home console technology. And considering both Xbox as well as Xbox 360 emulation definitely lag behind stuff on the PlayStation side of things, it is great to see groups basically improving this where they can, because it definitely is needed. Now jumping back over to Hyrule, you'll see in this downtown area there is some texture issues on the building, but again, when I said everything was doing exactly what it needed to, I was talking about the footage you're watching at the beginning of the video. Now that we're in a different section of the game, basically there must be an issue with the code to one of the calls to the shaders that's being emulated and then run on modern GPU hardware. But Xbox emulation is not a buttoned up thing, especially on the Chihiro side, so this is basically something that is going to improve with time and is getting so much better. Because for the longest time, basically no one was doing anything with this emulation in any way, shape, or form, so I love that the Teknoparrot team has been improving it for everyone to enjoy. And I feel like we're probably 3 to 6 months off of what I would call perfect Chihiro emulation and perfect Xbox emulation, at least on the arcade side of things. And some of these improvements can definitely be backported over to standard Xbox emulation as well, because even though it does have more RAM and it does use the hardware in different ways, a lot of these improvements are probably going to be copy and paste, kind of copied over to the mainline Xbox emulation scene. And I don't really mean copy and paste, I just mean that it can be borrowed and then incorporated back in, because any improvement in emulation is going to be beneficial for everyone looking at it in the future. Now taking a look at Outrun 2 beta here again, this one seems to be working exactly as expected. If they could get the lens flare brightness dialed down to where it needs to be, there really wouldn't be anything else that I would remark saying it needs to be improved. The steering physics, the overall feel, the frame rate of the game, doing everything I need just to be able to have a fun time playing Outrun 2. I do always test these in the background. When someone like Space Rock 12 sends me a capture, I jump in quickly and just give them a quick hot lap in between editing or doing voiceovers, and that way I know that everything is good. One more soundtrack sample and I'll be right back with more. So better Xbox emulation is going to be a net win for absolutely everyone, not just on the Chihiro side of things, but in the future on the home console side as well. This is one of those things. We have great emulation for PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, which is still in development and of course doesn't run every single game, and Shad PS4 continues to improve around the edges, and we even have rudimentary PlayStation 5 emulation right now. But from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, the emulation scene is definitely not hitting the same high watermarks. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the developers don't do a great job. There's just a lot less people involved in Xbox emulation than they are in PlayStation emulation or on the Nintendo side of things as well. So seeing Teknoparrot's team go ahead and button more of this up is a net positive for everyone, because Xbox has some incredible games and Outrun 2 is still the best arcade racing game ever made. And when that improves in different versions that weren't playable before, we are all winners. But short of that, we are done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and tell me in the comments why you agree with me that Outrun 2 is the best arcade racing game ever made. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.